Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you for joining this evening for part 2 of our series on the 64 Yoginis. Tonight we're going to be honoring Ma Tara, and Tara is an important figure in Hinduism, including the second of the 10 Mahavidya, or great wisdom goddesses. She's also a key figure in Buddhism and also Jainism as well. So before we begin the Satsang, I've got a couple of announcements. So this coming Tuesday at 7 o'clock, I'll be beginning a new series on different forms of breath work. We're going to start with some very simple techniques and work our way up to more complex breath work meditations. And then next Friday will be the next installment of our Cha guided practice series. I've learned another form of Cha practice called the Utok Nintyik, and it's actually derived from one of the healing lineages of Tibet. And this will be another opportunity for you to experience a practice of this nature, both in its original Tibetan as well as its English translation. And then additionally, I'd like to make a little pitch for, and of course it's showing up backwards on your screen, but this is Yogini of Hirapur Oracle. This is a set of divination cards based on the 64 Yoginis of the temple in Hirapur in the state of Orissa. The author is Luisa Spagna of Italy. If you type in Yogini Oracle in your web browser, information on this should come up. You'll have to request the deck directly from the author and her organization, but definitely worth it. It's 47 euro, about $54, and that includes shipping. And I'll show you the card for tonight's goddess, for Tara, number 2. And just to compare, here's the original sculpture. And of course, much has been broken away from the original. So the author is using some degree of imagination here. But really what she came up with is very appropriate. So we have Tara standing on a figure, presumably Lord Shiva, reminding us that we are essentially dead until we open ourselves to the Divine Mother's presence in our lives. She is holding a trident representing the 3 main energy channels of the body, Ida, Pingala, and Shushumna. And we see a stream of energy like the rising Kundalini. And in her other hand, she's holding the giving boons, and she is giving the energy to her children. So really just a beautiful piece of art. And again, I highly recommend this deck. So if you look on YouTube, you'll find that I've posted a PowerPoint video of tonight's satsang. And I want to say namaste to both Kim and Bryce who are joining right now. And I invite anybody else who's joining to also say hello, a quick hello, using the chat function on the screen. So, as Kali, Chandika, let's see. Kali or Chandika, who is the first of the Yoginis, is the initial transformative strike. So Tara is the resulting vibration. And here's a traditional image of Ma Tara looking very much like Kali, standing on a figure like Lord Shiva, and she's holding a number of objects. She's with a skull cup for the transformation of consciousness, and then she has this little pair of shears or scissors. And the way I like to look at it is we embark on this path when we're in a state of distress in our lives. Kali comes in with her sword and lops out that issue. And it's like Tara comes in with these little scissors just to make sure that everything is completely excised. So as we go further through the satsang, I'll say a little bit more about her symbolism. Get the right page in my notes. So, like I said, Kali or Chandika represents the initial steps we take in healing ourselves, but Tara symbolizes the path that we choose to achieve that final resolution. Sometimes we see Tara also holding a demon's head, like Kali. She's an important aspect of the Divine Mother in Hinduism, Buddhism, even Jainism. And so Tara means deliverer or savior, from the Sanskrit word tri, meaning to take across. And she is the ship that takes us troubled waters, the lifeboat that saves us from drowning in the ocean of our own ignorance. Her name also means star, like the stars that sailors would use and still use to this day in navigation. Her planet is Jupiter, the guiding guru principle. She's closely linked to Lord Shiva, the guru of the gods, and her personal Shiva is Rishi Aksobhya, an aspect which transcends all agitation. And he's also, in Buddhism, one of the bodhisattvas. Like Shiva, her divine syllable is Om. And according to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Om is the voice of Ishvara, or Shiva, as the world guru. And meditating on this syllable opens the divine guide within us all. Om is the initiating sound for many mantras, including the mantra we're going to use tonight, Om Tara Tutara Turiye Svaha. Tara is therefore the patroness of japa, that is mantra yoga, and she is the creative sound. She's known as Shabda Shakti. And so we see Tara of freshly cut heads. These represent new ideas. Her necklace of freshly cut heads. These represent new ideas. 50 in number, like the Sanskrit alphabet. So the power of mantra and mantra repetition. In the Puranas, the great epics, Tara, stars, is the wife of Jupiter, but she's also the secret lover of Chandra, the moon. And she therefore represents the powers of knowledge through ecstasy. Through her, the moon fathers Mercury, the planet of speech and the intellect. She's therefore the goddess of speech, oratory, and the ability to debate. However, her devotees are also dedicated to using these talents for expressing only the truth. So she is also the divine force that helps us to identify truth from falsehood. She's also an aspect of Ma Durga as the reliever of difficulties. And so definitely an aspect of Durga. In another aspect, she's Shiva's consort Gauri, which means the shining one. And this is Parvati, the nourishing mother. Her wrathful aspect is blue, and she goes by the name of Ugra, and she protects us from the effects of negative speech. And she gives victory to her devotees in debates and contests of knowledge. And so here's a little illustration of blue Ugra seated upon Lord Shiva, and she's holding the scissors. So let's see what else I can say about her symbolism. I mentioned the blue skin being her protective nature. Her long hair represents not just the interconnectedness of the universe, but also sound vibrations. She's often shown with eight, and these are the 8 magical powers that manifest through yoga, what we gain through meditation. Kali's cutting through the ego, and then her scissors, the refining of that work. Her lotus represents wisdom and also the opening of the heart. And already that her Kapala, her skull cup, represents the transformation of consciousness. And then there is a famous temple in northeast India called Tarapit, and it's dedicated to this form of the Divine Mother. And there are 2 main images. So we see this very Kali-like figure with the bloody mouth, but there's this secondary image that you see here, her nourishing side, and in this case she's actually suckling an infant Shiva. And this is one of the objects on the altar, little image, smaller image of the Tarapit image. This was a gift to me in 2008 from the superintendent of the school that I taught at in the village of Karda, just outside of Kolkata. So I want to say some things about Ma Tara as a major figure in Buddhism. So she's the foremost of the female bodhisattvas. And here is a traditional Tibetan or Nepali style Tara image. She's the female power of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And that's another thing her trident represents. She is also the She is also the consort of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva compassion. And she manifests in a number of different forms and functions. Green Tara is known as the Buddha enlightened activity. Red Tara is her fierce aspect associated with magnetizing all good things. White Tara, also known for compassion, long life, healing, and serenity, is also known as the wish-fulfilling wheel, or the Chinta Chakra. Yellow or gold Tara is associated with wealth and prosperity. Blue Tara is associated with the transmutation of anger. And black Tara associated with power, especially personal power, very Kali-like. So these forms of the Divine Mother, you might notice if you look at Buddhist tankas, are very similar to the Dakinis. And really the Dakinis and the Yoginis are one. And as we go through the 64 Yoginis, we'll see their expressions in the Buddhist Dakinis as well. This is a Dakini sculpture that I'm going to keep on the altar through this series. In China, Tara became Kuan Yin, the mother of compassion. And she's also related to Samantabhadri, the personification of female Buddhahood. So she also became a symbol of spiritual hunger for release from the physical world in both Buddhism and Jainism. A Jain temple. Her yantra, there's a central triangle for the divine feminine, creation, maintenance, and destruction. The six-pointed star represents the uniting of masculine and feminine, dynamic and receptive forces, the 8 lotus petals, the 8 directions, and also the Ashtamatrika, the 8 little mothers. And of course, as I mentioned before, the Yoginis are reflections of those 8 mothers. So let's go ahead and perform our Puja to Ma Tara. Finally, the weather was cooperating, and this is our first outdoor fire puja. I hope you enjoy it. And let's begin with a short meditation. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated position where you can look with a relaxed gaze upon your screen and the altar and the fire pit, which we'll be meditating on. And let's just take a moment and open our breath, do some deep breathing. And at first, use those out breaths to just release the cares of the day, the thoughts of yesterday, the concerns of tomorrow. Inhale, a sensation of relaxation and of peace. And I invite you to focus your breath and your attention on your heart center. And take a moment to silently connect with whatever form of the divine you're closest to. Knowing it's there always. And at this time, I invite you to think of some small aspect of your life that you want to transform. But specifically, it's something that you need insight in. Something you need guidance, something that you need insight in. Something you need guidance in. So think about that issue and express that wish for guidance. Guidance from the divine. And just acknowledge that in taking part in tonight's puja, you are opening yourself to receiving that guidance. And then slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Our practice by chanting 3 times. Inhale all. Inhale again. One more inhalation. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Stam Gitsopiva Pandarikaksham Santa Sushi Om Shuklam Bararanam Vishnum Seshivanam Shatubijam Prasanavanam Dayat Sava Vignopasantaye Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Om Trayambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukameva Machur Mukshiyamamritat Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shivadatri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jayabhuti Taharani Jaya Sarvagate Devi Kalatri Namostute Om Tada Turiye Sva Om Tada Tutada 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 Om Tada Tutada Turiye Sva Jai Matada. Kapuragoram Karunavataram Samsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Santam Hridayada Vinde Bivam Bivani Saitam Namami Devi Prapanote Hare Prasida Prasida Matara Jagata Kilasya Prasida Vishvesvada Pe Vishvam Tvamishwara Devi Chachara Charasya Om Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha. So I invite you at this point to join me in the chanting of Ma Tara's mantra. At this point to join me in the chanting of Ma Tara's mantra. Or if you would vibrations of the mantra, bring your consciousness to where it needs to be at this time. And as we chant the mantra, allow yourself to be open to her advice, to her guidance, and to the insights. If not during this puja, know that they will manifest in the days to come. Om Tada Tutada Turiye Svaha. 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 Om Tada Tutada Tadiye 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 Svaha. Meditate in silence, feeling the power of the mantra. And focus with a relaxed gaze upon our fire. Let those things that no longer work in your life be an offering to the fire. And let the light and the color and the heat of our fire be those energies transmuted into something that is now useful to you. And as you meditate again, open yourselves to the wisdom of the Divine Mother Tara. Om Tara Tutada Turiye Svaha. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Matara. Jai Matara. Jai Matara. Om Tada. Tutada. Turiye. Spa. Om Sava Mangala Mangaye. Shiva Spada Sadike. Saranye Triambake Devi. Narayane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sanavavatu Sanabunaktu Saviryam Kadavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Devi. Jai Ma Kali. Jai Matara Devi. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. I'm going to pan the camera around just so you can see our lovely temple garden in full bloom. And here I am. So namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me. Allow yourself to be open these next few days to the insights and knowledge that Ma Tara may provide. Flashes of insight in your mind. The right book falling into your hand. The person who can help you at this time. And I look forward to you joining us for our breathwork meditations beginning on Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Wonderful weekend ahead. I want to thank especially Jamie, Bryce, and Kim, and anybody else watching at this time, and also anybody watching the recording. And again, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And have a wonderful night. Blessings.